WNYWatercooler.com.
Allen, no timeouts as he runs, and he does so well all the way out to midfield. He laterals the ball. The ball is then batted out of bounds by Dawson Knox, and a flag is down.
You know, he takes it backward. Now they're going to take a look at this as a potential bat. If it is batted backwards towards their team area, it's not a foul. If it's forward, it is an illegal bat.
But how unnecessary was that? Why would you ever do this? It's not
there is
desperation.
no foul for an illegal bat, as the ball was batted backward and out of bounds. The ball is placed at the spot where it went out of bounds. First down.
I honestly don't know if I've ever seen anything like that.
There's a minute 4 remaining, Boog, and he's acting like it's the final play of the game.
Just going down.
No team issues this time.
Good to go. Welcome back. WNYWatercooler.com podcast, playoff edition. I mean, that's routine nowadays. We got Steve and Coast on the line.
What's up, Jan, man?
Another season, another playoff home game.
Best regular season in the history of the franchise.
Tied
as tumultuous as it was. Well, better point differential.
Oh.
So I don't know if they had advanced stats back in 1990, like DVOA or anything to distinguish between the two, but tied for the best record, best point differential in franchise history. And seemingly the whole season was stressful. Lots of ups and downs.
Why was that? I don't get that. I mean, we had a tough schedule, the Bills.
Very tough schedule, and a lot of things that happened. Injuries, obviously, all the things we've talked about. I mean, injuries, especially defensively, were seemingly nonstop the entire season. You know, important players going down, guys popping up on the injury report. I mean, out of our starting D, everyone missed games, I feel like. You know, like Poyer missed games, Hyde out for the year. You know, he might come back now. Miller out. Rousseau missed games. Oliver missed games. Phillips missed games. Edmonds, Milano. Every player on that defense missed games. Trey White, obviously. So I don't know if that's common, but every single guy. Dane Jackson had to go to the hospital in an ambulance. He may have missed games. I can't remember if he missed one, but it just injuries were a constant theme, especially defensively.
Yeah, 2 ambulance cart offs, and I mean, with Miller, the 2 safeties, and Trey White. I mean, combined, they had to have missed 50 games, close to it.
I mean, Hyde played in what, 2 games? White missed the first half of the season, at least. You know, Miller's missing the second half of the season. So
yeah, Poyer missed a handful of games, so maybe like 35, but
or 4 games. Poyer, I think we're 11-0 or 12-0 when Poyer plays.
It's just funny that the AFC East. I mean, everyone thought the AFC West was going to be like this gauntlet, and the Chiefs just waltzed through it 6-0. And the Bills division. I mean, that was the best division in the AFC. I mean, Dolphins, Jets, Patriots. I mean, none of them have a good quarterback, really. Well, Tua when he's healthy, but
yeah, you could argue the North was pretty good with Baltimore, Cincy, Pittsburgh, all having winning records. But yeah, I mean, the Jets were the worst team in the division ultimately this season, and they had the best defense in the division probably. I think New England was pretty fortunate with. I mean, if you go down the list of the teams that the Patriots beat, the quarterbacks on that list were pathetic. So they might have got, a little fortunate there with who they got to face. But
yeah, and I mean, everyone still says Belichick, or most people say Belichick is the best coach ever. I mean, that counts for something, even though we did sweep them. But I
They
mean,
haven't been competitive against us in 3 seasons. So I don't know. I just can he not make an adjustment? Like, I mean, we had the last week. You have to think that we did not have a good week of practice, did not have a good week of preparation. It was a short week as it was, and I mean, they played. I feel like Mac Jones had his best game of the season. And they were kind of slicing up our defense, and we still ended up winning by 12.
well, it was a very strange game. Yeah, I mean the spread was 7, and then it ended up moving up towards the end of the week. But I mean, you take away the 2 kickoff return touchdowns, we lose. I mean, yeah, the offense still would have gotten the ball, but just the
Yeah,
score.
It would have been a nail. It would have been a close game, yeah, for sure.
I
But
mean, the first 3 quarters, yeah, McCorkle, he looked actually like a good quarterback. I mean, Devontae Parker, dude loves playing against us, I feel like.
loves playing against us. He lights us up all the time. But I mean, they had guys just seemingly running wide open. So, yeah, I mean, they looked. Their offense was moving the ball. We did not have much of a resistance, but fourth quarter, second half we played better in general. Hit some big plays on offense, which you had to. I'm sure you were probably happy to see that.
Well, I mean, I love the John Brown play, but that was coming into my end zone, and me and the guy I sit with were just like, "Who the hell's 16?" I had no idea who that was. I mean, that was his only catch of the game, John Brown. But
He played 3 plays.
yeah, I mean that play was. I mean, we saw Allen like gesturing to him to, go downfield, and then I mean it was a great catch. I mean the ball is overthrown, but thankfully Brown's fast. The other one, though, I'll definitely give him credit. The throw to Diggs, the ball was like up in the air forever. I was like,
The throw to Diggs was amazing. The throw to Davis was amazing. That Davis just dropped. I mean, it was a good play to Brown. I mean, Brown made a nice catch, but the ball was there. I mean, those were good plays. Big, Allen has, his for all the, which I never agreed with, and I always thought was laughable in his first couple of years when people were like, "Oh, he can't throw the deep ball." The guy's deep passing is unbelievable.
I never hear anyone say that.
That it's great.
No, I never hear anyone say that he can't throw a deep pass.
His first couple seasons, he had like his completion percentage on like throws over 20 yards was like terrible, and people were like concerned about his ability to throw deep accurately. That's a real
yeah,
thing.
that I remember. Yeah, a few years ago. I mean, no one said that the last 2.5 seasons, 3 seasons, but maybe. Yeah. I mean, I'm one of his biggest detractors. I think I know the criticism of him, but
So he, all in all, summing up his season, what do you think? Second team All Pro, probably.
yeah. I mean, I think he was better than Chargers quarterback. I mean, he's obviously not better than Mahomes, but I mean, Jalen Hurts. I don't know.
He's better, he's better than Mahomes.
Well, he's not, but I feel like the Eagles had a super easy schedule. Them in the playoffs. Granted, they only had to play 2 games, but
click through their schedule. It was a joke. I mean, they got Dallas with Cooper Rush. Was that his name? It is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they went, I guess, 4-2 in their division. And then, I mean, the rest of their schedule was soft for sure. I think they beat the Vikings. That might have been their best win outside of the division. But the whole NFC, I mean, they had a soft schedule. But Hurts, I don't know. I mean, I think it's a good story. He had a great year. I don't know how good he is yet. I guess he's got to do this for multiple years in a row.
I mean, he has one of the best receivers, and he has other good weapons. He's got a good tight end, and he has another good receiver with Devontae Smith, who is a top.
Two great.
He's a Heisman winning receiver, top 10 pick.
Yeah, Devontae Smith is a great player. Dallas Goedert. People say they have like one of the best offensive lines in the entire league. They got, it seems like they have a good running game with the running backs. They're loaded. I mean, that first game Minshew played, he threw for like 350.
Yeah, I still don't understand what the Titans were thinking. I don't. Why would you trade AJ Brown? I just don't understand that. But
that guy, I was horrified of playing him every time we played the Titans. Every time. The guy just lit us up. I always thought he was, we always called him Baby Molds. I mean, the guy was awesome. And
Yeah, he's better than Mold. So
I mean, this guy they drafted, maybe he'll end up being good, Burks, but I don't know. It seemed like, why would you not want to pay? Maybe they're thinking they don't have a quarterback anyways. Like, it doesn't really matter to have an elite receiver. Obviously, Malik Willis isn't the answer.
yeah,
So,
the Titans. They should have won that game. I mean, so Jacksonville, like,
could have won.
I don't know. So Jacksonville Chargers. I mean, it's an interesting game. I don't think either team. I think the Chargers are going to have a tough, short week. They got to fly across the country, and then they're going to have to do the same thing again next week, probably. And I don't even think they're that good. They don't score.
No. Well, that's how it, like, the analytics stat nerds love Lawrence and Herbert, but like neither team like really scores a lot of points. But I don't know. They think the quarterbacks are like elite. Why are we calling Trevor Lawrence elite? I mean, I think that's a little premature. But I mean, you're right. That the Josh Allen touchdown, if it wasn't for that, and it was arguably not even a fumble.
That was the biggest fluke. Yeah, that was such a fluke play. I mean, I don't know what the hell Vrabel's thinking having his quarterback drop back in that play, but I don't even want to talk about the Titans ever again, really. They let me down.
So, I mean, we're rooting for probably – I still think I'd prefer to see the Jags win that game.
Yeah, I agree.
Although, I guess we got to be thinking which team has a better chance to beat the Chiefs, assuming Cincy wins, and that might be the Chargers. So, I guess if you come at it from that angle, I mean, or maybe I shouldn't even think the Chargers because they just can't beat them. They come close, but they just can't beat them. So I don't know. I don't know who would have a better.
Yeah, I'd rather a team outside the AFC West because I feel like they haven't lost a game against the AFC West in Mahomes' lifetime career, at least. He might not have actually.
I don't think. I think maybe I saw.
Oh, they lost to the Raiders. They lost to the Raiders last year.
They haven't. I don't think they've lost a road divisional game in Mahomes' career. I think I saw that somewhere, which is just ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy.
So why are we going to lose to So why are we going to lose to the Dolphins? Is it more of going to be something that McDermott does, or is it or maybe just someone who's going to get hurt? Something's going to happen. I don't know. I mean, we're not going to. I don't think the Bills will lose to Skylar Thompson, but.
So if we were going to lose, how would it happen? It would take a couple non-offensive touchdowns.
If we field a punt, we better not even field a punt. I feel like we're going to do something dumb. We always do something dumb with muffed punts. Or maybe I just imagine that, but it just seems like
we were so sloppy. I mean, we played last week like I expected a team to play after going through what we went through. But you're right. Like we were up. Were we up 12 at that point or whatever we were up? Why even have a guy back there? Just you don't even need to have a guy back there to return it. Like the game, they're punting. It's like sort of late in the fourth quarter. Like just
Did we muff a punt against the Patriots?
Yeah, remember they punted it and it was a short punt. And we let it bounce and then it went off. Taiwan Jones' foot.
It had a weird bounce. It bounced like towards the sideline completely.
Yeah, it bounced weird, and he got blocked into the. Weird, and he got blocked into the ball.
Oh yeah, I'm shouting get away from him. I mean, obviously the players can't hear me, but you see that ball ricochet a weird way, and that and then the Singletary fumble
at the 10-yard line.
It's like what the fuck is going on here?
So, for how bad the defense, I felt the defense played bad in the game, but they did have a big stop there.
Held them to a field goal.
But yes, sloppy turnover. I mean, even with those turnovers, though, unless we give the Dolphins touchdowns either on special teams or defensive TDs, I don't see how they score more than. I mean, can they even get to 17?
I mean, without special teams even without special teams touchdown or defensive touchdown. I mean, even if you throw the ball up to Waddle and Tyreek Hill once each, and they run it 70 yards, it's still only 14 points. I can't see that working more than 2 times.
And I don't know, those like their offense, their passing game is so like timing on those passes over the middle, and
Yeah, they're not going to have drives of like 8 plays,
No.
65 yards, and I don't see that happening with a third string rookie. I mean, I have some Skylar Thompson trivia actually. Do you know what school he went to?
Kansas State.
Yeah, so he's 247th overall, 7th round. It was actually 4 spots ahead of Pacheco. 16,
Oh, interesting.
16 picks ahead of Brock Purdy. So he was the 17th last pick in the draft. And I mean, Purdy, I don't even want to have to think about that dude for a month. But so he was a 5-year starter at Kansas State. So coincidentally, he went to the same school as Brock Purdy. Big 12, I guess all their quarterbacks get drafted in the 7th round.
Skylar Thompson and Brock Purdy went to the same school.
No, same conference. What I meant Big 12.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I may have misspoke. So he had 68 total TDs
in 5
years.
seasons.
I mean, 4.5 because they only played a couple of games in the 2020 year. I mean, comparatively, yeah, it's not really that. Comparatively, Purdy had 100. That's rushing and receiving. I was surprised. I mean, Thompson can run, but he's not like a running quarterback, I wouldn't say. And he turns 26 in June, so he's pretty old.
So what's his skill? Like, why did he get drafted? Does he have a good arm? Does he what's the scouting report on this guy?
You want him
athletic?
I mean, he's pretty athletic. He's just under 6'2", so he's not tall at all. I mean, he's at the end of the 7th round. It's like, do you want to sign a free agent or do you want to just control this guy's rights for 3 years? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but he's got 1 TD and 3 picks in 2 games he's played. I think his QB rating is like 50.
Yeah, he's appeared in more than 2 games, but games that he's played decent amounts in. Like, he had a cheap interception earlier in the year. Probably in mop-up duty or something. I don't know.
Yeah, only a garbage time. His touchdown was a garbage time touchdown. They couldn't score a TD last week. 9-6. Yikes. So, and Hill is banged up. I mean, they're not healthy, Miami.
Yeah, their O-line is completely just like a bomb went off in the offensive line room. Like literally every starter is on the injury report, or was earlier this week.
And Mostert.
Yeah, the guy who shredded us, he broke his thumb.
He's in a cast. It looks like. I don't. Is he going to play?
I would like him to play. Yeah, let's let a running back with a broken finger play. I mean, how's he going to grip the ball?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he did light us up last time, 100 yards in the first half.
Yeah,
but they're probably going to have the same game plan. I mean, they got Jeff Wilson and that other Ahmed guy. So
yeah,
they're gonna have the same game plan and just try and run it down our throats. But now there's little threat of a passing game, and Tyreek Hill isn't 100%. So I think Miami, they got in the playoffs. I mean,
that's what I was
obviously.
My one question is, like, what's more likely that the Bills, they're going to have like a huge emotional letdown from last week, and they're like, oh, it's no 2-0, we're just going to go into this assuming we're going to win, or is it more likely that Miami just doesn't even want to get off the bus, that they have this third string nobody, and they just know they're going to be outside in the cold for 5 hours against like a top 3 or 4 team? I mean, are they even going to want to be motivated to play? I mean, I know it's the playoffs, but they get down 10, they could pack it in.
If you're asking me what's more likely out of those 2 scenarios, us having a letdown game or them not wanting to get off the bus, it's definitely them not wanting to get off the bus. I think we're dialed in. I think we know what's at stake. The regular season for this team is really just like to get to this point. And I think even McDermott said this week, like his quote was like, I don't know what the question was, but he said like this isn't a soap opera. Like we have one game to prepare for now. This is all that matters. Whatever his quote was. Like I think they're 100% focused, and I don't think it matters who's playing quarterback for Miami. But for them, it's like okay, Miami, they're gonna come out. They play the game of their lives. Then what? They have to go to Arrowhead next week, and with Tua's not playing this season again. Like I think Miami, there's a chance that they're, we made the playoffs this year. We've had injuries. Like this is good for our team. Like let's, get to the off season.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that. Yeah, I mean, Tua's not going to play. I heard he's still in step 2 of a 10-step process of getting out of the concussion protocol. I mean, they're not going to bring him back. I mean, if they somehow miraculously win, but yeah, I think it's. I mean, and McDaniel, I don't know. I mean, that guy, everyone loves him, but why did they fall apart completely?
Their schedule got tougher. I mean, their winning streak, they had an extremely easy stretch of opponents. Then they had to play us, San Fran, and the Chargers. And then it was the Packers game where Tua gets concussed and
still played, yeah, and then he fell apart in the end.
He fell apart. Didn't even remember the plays, he said. I heard. And then the Pats, they lost. Wait, I can't remember now. They lost. Yeah, they lost to the Pats after Bridgewater broke his hand on the same play as a pick six. I mean, it was hard schedule, injuries.
Finger.
I think Miami's legitimately got a good team. I do, but not with how banged up they are, and not with Skylar Thompson.
Yeah, it seems like they've just been cursed since Thanksgiving. Did they sacrifice I don't know. Something cursed them since the middle of the season because it's just everyone's hurt, everyone, and it's funny because the last time they were in the playoffs was 2017, and that was when their quarterback got hurt that season too. They had to play against Pittsburgh. Yeah, Matt Moore played, and I think even he got crushed on the first drive of that game, and he stayed in there.
That.
Yeah, and they ended up losing to Pittsburgh 30-12. And so they've had 2 playoff appearances since 2009, and now both of them are going to be with backup quarterbacks. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't the Dolphins, I would feel bad for them, but it's just funny. That's such bad luck. That's horrible.
Yeah. Tua's seems like a brittle player though.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he was undersized. He's a lefty. That just throws off the whole. I mean, I've been saying that since he was drafted. It throws off your protection, how the players are used to playing. I mean, it's got to be an adjustment to play with a left-handed quarterback. And you play Armstead, and he's actually not even covering the blind side, right? He's playing left tackle.
Right, yeah, the right tackle. Yeah, and he just seems like the type of player that if he gets hit, you don't know if he's going to get up. I don't know. He just seems like a.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help that every time we watch him, the Bills do just completely crush him, and he seems to get hurt every time we play him.
Last season we took him out of the game. This year we gave him his first concussion. I mean, I like Tua. I do. I think I didn't like how he got what he went through the first 3 years. Didn't think it was fair.
It definitely sucks because he proved the doubters wrong this year, and then all it became about was the concussions.
Yeah, I mean, and the Dolphins built their offense
perfectly.
You got he was great at Alabama. Let's set up this offense like Alabama with super fast receivers that and it was working for him. So it could work for him again next year, but. It's just how can this dude stay healthy?
It seems like he can't. I mean, people might be more predisposed to getting injured than other players, but I mean, he just doesn't know how to go to the turf or something. He's always banging his dome off the ground.
Yeah.
maybe it's the way he twists his body or how he protects himself, or I mean, who knows? I don't. Smarter people than me study that, and they don't know. So, although there's not that many people like that, but
Yeah. So, but I do think they're good. I do think they're a formidable opponent, especially in the future. But we've had and McDermott teams have been great against rookie quarterbacks. So just taking out the fact that even he's a 7th-round pick, like anytime we play a rookie QB, they seem to really struggle. So it's one of those games where you really could you go into the game and just like, oh, we're not going to turn the ball over. Don't do anything stupid like that. 3rd and 10, don't try and throw it into triple coverage while you're getting hit in the knees. Just
that play,
goal.
that was on the other side of the field, but I was right in my line of vision, and I'm just like, what? The ball didn't look like it got tipped, and I'm just like, what the Joshy Poo, come on, man. Just talk it.
His word. I texted, I think Sano, and I said that was the worst decision and play I've seen Allen make in his career. Because it had.
Did you watch the Houston game, the playoff game?
Yeah, we've covered the lateral many times and how I think it was a smart play.
Still,
but he was getting hit in the knee, like he didn't step because he knew he couldn't step, and just kind of like flung it over the middle. Like no one would. I don't know. I didn't hear anything about what he was thinking on that one. I don't know. Maybe he thought. You never know what's going on these plays. Like it was so bad that it's almost like he thought someone was running a different route. Like someone ran to the back. It was a
long, but it was a long play. Like he had the ball for a few seconds. I mean, it wasn't like it was. I don't know. So I had also had that written down. Are we just going to run the ball a lot? Like really, just play it more conservatively. Not. I mean, at least maybe in the second half, or just the whole game.
I think in the first half they're going to try and light these guys up. That's what I expect. They're going to try and torch them through the air, and they probably will be able to, honestly.
Yeah, but are the Dolphins going to get dirty? I mean, I don't know. I mean, players. I don't think players really try and hurt every other players, but they still.
Oh, the guy in Cincinnati, tried to hurt Allen.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they do. I mean, in the heat of it, I guess they probably do. But I mean, the Dolphins, they hate us. We're going to end their season again, most likely. And they still have good players. Like they have a good pass rush. I don't know if the $1 billion 1st-round draft pick guy they traded for is Brady C is going to play, but what a bust that's already. That's funny.
Is he hurt or just like doesn't play, doesn't show up ever?
I think he was on the injury report yesterday. I'll pull it up now, but yeah, that trade. I don't know.
I said it at the time. These teams, everyone, if you're making a splash trade at the deadline, it's probably a bad trade. Although I guess the Roquan Smith trade for Baltimore, I guess he's been good, but I don't know. You especially in a position as valuable as edge rusher, I just feel like, is Denver really going to be like looking to trade like a 26-year-old stud edge? That's a red flag to me. It's a red flag. I don't know. Maybe that's just me though. It's not the type of player you would want to get rid of. If he's truly like worth Denver, if he's worth the $100 million.
Yeah, but I mean Denver, that team, are they rebuilding? I think they're just incomplete. They don't even know what they're doing.
Nah, they screwed themselves with the Wilson contract, but I don't know. But when you're playing a team like with this team we're gonna be playing, you wanna just jump on them early. You don't want to be conservative in the first half, let them stick around, think they have some sort of chance. I mean, you go up by double digits early, you could get away from them real quick.
Oh my God, I'm trying to pull up this injury report and it's a friggin' paywall. Yeah, Orlando Sentinel. No, I'm not going to subscribe to the Orlando Sentinel. God damn. Well, I can't find
Twitter.
I am on Twitter. I think I got it here. So Armstead didn't practice. Mostert didn't practice. And then they had Waddle was limited. Jalen Phillips was limited. I don't know what that necessarily means too much, but Bradley Chubb was limited.
Yeah, we
too.
got guys that are too.
Yeah, so I mean, limited doesn't
could
mean
just
too
be-
much. But yeah, I don't think
we got guys that are limited or managing injuries, but we know we're gonna play like Poyer. McKenzie now he popped up.
I don't think he's going to play. I mean, so the Bills they signed everyone's favorite Beasley onto the roster, so now they could play Beasley and Brown like it's 2020 again. But
love it, I love it.
I guess they're sick of Gabe dropping balls all the time. I mean,
I'm sick of it. I'm sick of Gabe dropping balls.
How long was that ball in the air? The one that he dropped in the end zone, like it hit his face mask or something. I think I saw a replay.
Hit him right in the 3.
Yeah. Well, he was covered.
Money.
He was covered.
He was covered, but the ball was just put right on the numbers. No one. It wasn't contested. It wasn't tipped. It wasn't anything, and he just. I mean, the dude just—he's not having it. You know what? I'm rarely wrong, but I think I might have been. I might have been a little bit wrong on Davis. I'm not giving up on Davis, but I thought he was going to be a stud this year.
I nailed it 100% too. It's funny, and I'm usually right. So,
he can still, be good down the road, but. I don't know, man.
I just remember like the radio idiots that are obsessed with receivers. All they talk about, and they're like, "Well, give Davis $20 million. You have to have two $20 million receivers nowadays." Like, thank God those clowns aren't running the organization. Jesus.
The receiver talk is out of control on WGR. I mean,
it's one great game because Diggs had one catch in the divisional round last year, and let's just give him the whole bag.
Yeah. Well, I drank the Kool-Aid too, so I don't know.
Not surprising.
But he had a lot of big plays, and he had good games in his career, and I thought he just needed to get the opportunity, which he was going to get this year, and he just didn't really. I mean, he was so inconsistent, like just target wise. It's not like we threw to him a ton, and when we did throw to him, he was inconsistent in catching the ball. So. He had a sideline pass too, and he's made some nice catches on the sidelines in his career. But this one in the Pats game, I thought it was a pretty good throw, and he made no effort. I just thought it was a bad play.
Yeah, he didn't get his feet down or something.
Yeah, he didn't even try and drag him. He just took a giant step. Reminded me of Robert Royal on that Lee Evans pass.
Jesus, Robert Royal. Or Scott Chandler had a huge, he didn't get his foot down in the back of the end zone one time.
Do you remember the Royal play I'm talking about?
Lee Evans threw it to him, you're saying?
Yeah, look this play up.
Yeah, it's back left of the end zone. I remember.
He threw it. I feel like Royal caught it 6 yards into the end zone and long jumped.
Was it 2008? I mean, yeah, that's right in the back of my mind. I think about that at least once a month.
I mean, it was that bad of a play. So yeah, that one was memorable for sure. But yeah, it was sort of like that. Davis did. I mean, drag your feet. Even Romo was ripping him up. So you got to drag those feet. So anyways,
I feel like we always have memorable tight end plays. Lonnie Johnson getting crushed over the middle.
Oh yeah, who could forget that?
I feel like we're burying the lead here. So when was the last game that you attended in person? 15 years ago.
Regular season game.
Well, yeah, I mean, you haven't been to a playoff game since you were 12, so 10.
11. But the last regular season game I went to was Bills-Pats in 2016.
Holy shit, I'm going to have to give you directions to the stadium.
And
you know where it is, right? They didn't put the new stadium downtown. It's not a dome either.
I went to two preseason games this year.
Oh, yeah. Well.
Yeah, so but I've only missed one full capacity home playoff game in the past 30 years. So
full capacity.
Yeah, well, I couldn't go to the 2020 games even if I wanted to.
Now, if you paid a lot. Oh no, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, people could have gotten in, but yeah, I guess you couldn't have gone to those. And last year, I mean, the tickets were pretty cheap.
Yeah, well, yeah. Tickets when the game is 0 degrees, people don't want to go. I mean, a lot of people want to sell their tickets now because they can make money, and the weather's usually not great. They want to sit there in the freezing cold watching the game, and they can sit at their house.
Yeah, I don't. Well, how's that going to change in 6 years or 7 years or however long it's going to? I'm not getting into that now. We're not. So we got. Did I have something else? Oh, so the divisional round, the 1 seed last year was last year the first year they had 7-7, or is this the second?
No, it has to be the third because we were the 2 seed in 2020, and we didn't have a bye. So this is the third year with 7 playoff teams.
All right. So last year, both 1 seeds played on Saturday, and the 2 seed played on Sunday. We're the 2 seed this year. But the year before that, one team played the 2020 year. One of the 1 seeds played on Saturday, and one of them played on Sunday.
Did we play in the early game in 2020? The early Saturday?
No, Baltimore game was at night. That was
the division. Oh, you're talking about the divisional round. My bad.
Yeah, I'm talking about second round. Because, I mean, let's play. We're playing Skylar Thompson. The line's 13. I mean, what's it? We got 2 minutes left here. The line, is it still 13? I mean,
13 and a half. Yeah, 13 and a half.
The biggest spread in a wild card game.
Yeah, yep.
But, I mean, it's not even a second-string quarterback. It's not like a second-year quarterback. It's a seventh-round dude that's had 100 snaps in the NFL. I mean,
yep.
And how many? 30% of those were mop-up duty, just handing the ball off.
Not an ideal scenario for him at all.
Yeah, it's 13 and a half, 43 and a half total. It's going to be a nice weather out, so it's not like the weather could possibly give him much of an advantage. So, yeah, so second round, I would guess we're going to play Sunday, but
if we win,
but maybe not. I mean, if 2 years ago there was 7 teams in the division or in the playoffs, and that's not necessarily how it'll be. So, and I guess if it's the Chargers, well, who knows? I don't know. Just something to point out. So
I think there's legitimate possibility that. Well, who's playing quarterback for Baltimore?
It's going to be Huntley. He practiced Thursday, so
okay. So Huntley. I don't think that's I don't think that's a lock for Cincy.
I mean, they got to get the secondary's got to ball, but we got less than a minute left here. So, what's your prediction?
I don't think Miami's going to be able to score much, as we talked about. So, I think we're going to win. I'll go 30-13.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 30-10, maybe 28-10. I think that we get up 10. The Bills get up 10. Dolphins are not going to be able to do much, especially if Mostert's hurt. I mean, they have a couple of running backs, but their best running backs out. The O-line is just savagely destroyed. I just can't see them sticking with us, and I think we're just going to run the clock out. We've been giving the ball to Cook more, and I think Cook is going to get a lot of touches on Sunday.
I think Cook could have a coming out party in these playoffs. I think a little bit. So
all right, well, we'll see you at the parking lot. 7 a.m.
Okay, it's gotta hope all about my bills like Buffalo. Shit, I'm all about the bills like Thurman Thomas.
We're not making a playoff.
I don't tip, I pay bills. Bitches call me Buffalo.
We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Yeah.